just mentioned there's been much anger following yesterday's announcement by Qantas.
Qantas Chief Executive Alan Joyce joins us now from Sydney. Alan Joyce, good morning.
Good morning, Michael.
You're being accused by one union leader this morning of being like Sol Trujillo, the corporate wrecker of Telstra. That's a moniker no Australian business leader really wants, is it?
Well, I think the union leaders are reacting to the fact that they don't want to see any change. And, you know, the easiest thing for me to do was not to address this problem, to kick the can down the street. But I'm worried about the future of Qantas. I want there to be a strong Qantas. And, you know, the personal attacks on me, if that's a tactic the unions want to do, that's fine. But I'm committed to building a stronger, more profitable Qantas so it can survive for the next 90 years.
We'll get onto the unions a bit later. All this is about reducing Qantas's cost base. So how much cheaper will it be for Qantas to hire pilots, ground crew, cabin staff on both Jetstar Japan and the new premium airline you're setting up in Asia?
Well, this is not about us offshoring jobs or reducing our cost base.
It's not about offshoring jobs, and I take your point there, but how much cheaper will it be on site in those locations to hire those staff?
But can I say it misses the point? The issue in Japan is that we wanted to go to a low-cost environment, we wouldn't go to Japan. What we have in Japan is a great business opportunity. Japanese Airlines wants to use Qantas's expertise in setting up a low-cost carrier, to fly a low-cost carrier in the domestic Japanese market and into Asia. We have an ability to take 42% of that profitability, bring it back to Australia and strengthen the 35,000 jobs we have here. It's no different than BHP having mining interests in South America and South Africa, so it can make profits out of them and bring them back to Australia. It's great that an Australian company has been asked to use its expertise in Japan to set up a new business.
It's going to be cheaper, though, to hire a pilot or cabin crew or ground staff in Asia to staff these new airlines. That's the base issue I'm getting at here.
Yes, we will, because you're starting a business in those countries. Of course, you're going to have Japanese cabin crew and Japanese pilots. But if you think Japan is a cheap place to do business, then you're mistaking, because this is a business opportunity. It's not about us offshoring jobs or finding a lower cost base to do business.
Can Australian passengers, therefore, wanting to buy a ticket on these new airlines when they're set up, knowing that these people have been employed on lower wages, can they be assured that they'll get the same level of cabin service, the same safety requirements that they get when they hop on a Qantas domestic flight in Australia?
Absolutely, but these are internal operations again in Japan, and I think it's great for the tourism sector here in Australia as an example. We have Tourism Australia, Far North Queensland Tourism, the Premier of Queensland saying how positive these ventures are for tourism in Australia. And can I say, you know, the same standards that we have for Qantas apply across the group. And it's not as if these jobs are lowly paid jobs. A Jetstar pilot, for example, a Jetstar captain gets paid over $200,000 a year. These are very well paid jobs in the aviation industry. We pay the pilots very well, and I'm very proud of the Qantas pilots, I'm very proud of the Jetstar pilots, and I'll be very proud of the pilots in these ventures, because they are all trained to the exact same standards and the exact same standards that we have across the Qantas group.
Alan Joyce, based on the rumblings we're hearing from union leaders, industrial action is, it's fair to say, more than likely in response to this announcement, and we're also hearing at the ABC that the relevant unions may team up in any industrial action. Is Qantas prepared for what could be concerted and protracted industrial action by all of your unions?
Well, we have to change the business. You know, we've been talking to the unions now, in some cases for over 9 months, have 20, 30 meetings with them to try and get them to move with us with the change that's needed. Our international business is losing $200 million a year. It's losing market share. It's becoming less and less relevant. And unless we change, Qantas could go the way of Ansett, TWA and Pan Am. And we're now getting close to the 10th anniversary of Ansett's collapse. I won't let that happen to Qantas. We want the unions to come with us, we want them to change, but we have to get on and build a better and a stronger Qantas.
If those consultations fail and there is industrial action, either individually or combined with the unions, what contingencies has Qantas got in place for that?
Well, we obviously are absolutely hoping to avoid industrial action, and we're still keeping the dialogue open with the individual unions. And the unions have been talking about industrial action now for at least the last 6 months. It's not good for the Qantas brand, it's not good for the Qantas reputation. I hope they'll get on and work with us to build a stronger, better Qantas instead of continually damaging the Qantas brand.
We're running out of time here. Alan Joyce, just a few more quick questions. 1,000 jobs gone, which anybody would agree is a pretty big hit. Can you now guarantee there'll be no further job losses at Qantas?
I don't think any business leader can guarantee that, given the volatile economic environment that we have at the moment. I don't like letting anybody go. I'd like to employ 50,000 people in Qantas, but I know if I employed 50,000 people, I'm risking all the jobs in the company. What my job is to make sure I maximise and protect as many jobs as I can. And I build Qantas to be a big leading employer going forward and a growth vehicle. And I've no doubt in my mind we'll turn around the Qantas international business. We'll be able to recruit again and grow that business. That's my aim and that's my plan.
And just finally, everybody at Qantas is making a sacrifice as part of this, be it pilots or the lowest paid ground engineer. You earn about $3 million a year. Have you considered taking a pay cut to at least keep on a few of these people you're planning to sack?
Well, we have. I mean, the management in the company has taken 20% of management have left the company. We've had management pay freezes for 2 years. We've management not being paid bonuses for a couple of years. We've taken big cuts over this period of time. I think the management has been more disciplined in how it's managed this position than in any other company, in any other work group in the company.
Times are tough and conditions have got worse arguably since then. You wouldn't consider taking a pay cut to help Qantas through these troubled financial times?
I've taken a significant pay cut. You know, my salary is significantly less than the previous CEO. My salary today as Qantas CEO is significantly less than it was as Jetstar CEO. So we have already taken a significant pay cut.
Alan Joyce in Sydney, thank you very much for your time this morning.
Thank you very much.